This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. From the Aftermarket Radio Network, it's Carm Capriato. How you doing? And we recorded this episode at the 2022 NAPA Expo in Las Vegas. Joining me is the powerhouse team of women behind NAPA AutoCare. Now, NAPA has almost 100 years of dependability and remains the brand you can trust. My panel of ladies discusses the future, what makes the NAPA family so strong. Tesla parts are available now. Training and the collective strength of their AutoCare members. We had some fun, and I thank them for giving us their perspective. And also thanks to our partner NAPA for providing you this episode. How does NAPA support your AutoCare Center through national marketing? Well, NAPA will build upon the already successful Know-How for All campaign and promote AutoCare offering and services for the do-it-for-me customer. Those are your customers. And support through sales driver promotions, optimized targeted media in local markets, and in proven channels. They give your repair facility an online presence with NAPA Online, generating millions of views per month. Now, if you're interested in partnering with NAPA AutoCare and capitalizing on the NAPA Know-How for All national marketing campaign, contact your servicing NAPA Auto Parts store now. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's the NAPA Expo 2022, delayed a few years because of COVID, but it's Carm Capriato in this beautiful studio right here in the heart of Napa Village here in Las Vegas. And I got to tell you, I am interviewing the woman of NAPA AutoCare. I don't know how Jason Rainey stacked this deck as the VP of AutoCare with these four really great women that I work with a lot. I'm so glad to have you here. Joelle Pollock, Director, AutoCare Sales and Marketing. Hi, Joelle.
Hi, Carm. I'd like to just say how fantastic of an event this is. I've been yelling, screaming, so that's why it may be a little difficult to understand me.
You have conference voice.
Yes.
And I probably will have that tonight because it's starting to get very whitish.
Yep.
Alberta Santistevan. Hey, how you doing?
Great. Happy to be here.
I got
First
her name.
time.
The manager of program communications. Important job.
It's a big job. It's an exciting job.
Good. You said all the right things.
Yeah. Super happy.
And Lauren Briggs is here, sales and marketing manager.
Hi, Carm.
Hi. And Anna Price is here, brand new to the team.
Yes.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Carm.
Program brand specialist.
Yes.
All these titles, man, I'll tell you. Not only do I have to know how to say their names, I have to get the titles right.
At the end of the day, we're all one team. We're part of the NAPA AutoCare team.
Well, episode done.
Yes.
Let's go home. Others on the team, John Ellsworth, Joe Prozic, Bob Hess, and Christian Champion. They're not here because this is all about the ladies. And also hanging up by the table is daughter Tracy.
Hi, everybody.
I just can't imagine how much work it took to pull this off. This is a spectacular venue. I mean, as far as the lights and how you've steered people around and the displays, off the charts. It's really a spectacular event.
This is all of our first NAPA Expo. Actually, all of us were with NAPA during the 2015 Expo, but we weren't actually present at it. And this has been all hands on deck for the last 5 years now because of all the postponements. It's really nice to see everything come together. We've heard nothing but great feedback from the seminars, the trade show floors, and we're just getting started.
When I walked in, I realized that the work that had to be done to pull this off was sleepless days and nights. And, you say, well, yeah, we'll work hard 2 weeks before. No, it's probably 24 months before. I'm moderating 4 panels here, and every other day I would get an email to be sure that I was still alive. Check your pulse, send your blood pressure in. Remember the topic you're going to talk about. Be here for this rehearsal. And I realized the detail. I mean, that's what hit me. How, Lauren, did you pay attention to all this detail?
Being very, very, very organized and having, luckily, other expo checklists and things to work off of, but then really working as a team and being a solid unit and just keeping good notes. That's all. That's what it takes.
So I have to ask project managers, right? All kinds of software to keep everybody on track?
Well, we're all millennials here.
Oh, we don't need that stuff.
But, I'm more of a notepad and pen girl.
Okay, really?
Yes.
You're like me?
Yes.
Wow. As much as Tracy trying to make me a millennial dad.
You ever look at Carm's office, there are probably 300 tiny little notepads everywhere taped, stapled, on the walls, on the computer.
All right, stop this.
But now I'm doing that too. Now I have pads of paper everywhere. Now I have all these notes. So I'm kind of converting now to the pen and paper.
Tracy, I can relate to that because I am finding myself using a notebook more, and it's because of Joelle.
We all learn from Joelle.
Carm, I would add that what Joelle said, we all have these different titles, and at the end of the day, though, we were all supporting each other. Even if Lauren and Joelle were responsible for seminars and Anna and I had another piece, we might hear something or be in a meeting and say, did you get that? Make sure you do that. Oh, this day's coming up. So we were all just always supporting each other.
It's Carm here, talking to you about what the NAPA AutoCare Center program can do for your business. You probably already know the NAPA brand is the most recognized and trusted name in the automotive aftermarket industry. In fact, studies show that nearly 95% of consumers recognize NAPA and associate it with quality parts, service, and technical expertise. So why not complete a Pro Image upgrade and take advantage of that? Pro Image is a co-branding program for the exterior and interior of your shop. On the outside, it includes the NAPA colors and distinctive NAPA signage. While the public may know you as a reliable, locally owned business, a Pro Image upgrade helps set your shop apart from the competition even further. It's also a visual signal to customers and potential customers that you and NAPA are partners. Most importantly, Pro Image really works. This co-branding opportunity has helped NAPA AutoCare centers across the country increase their car counts and sales. In fact, those that have completed a Pro Image project enjoy an average 23% sales increase during the first year. Pro Image upgrades are also available for the interior of your shop. A Pro Image interior upgrade transforms your customer waiting area from merely utilitarian to warm and welcoming. The goal is to maintain your shop's independent identity while enhancing the customer's experience. You can get a free look at what a Pro Image exterior or interior upgrade could look like by visiting the NAPA AutoCare Members site and clicking on the Pro Image link under the NAPA Pro Image tab. Or contact your local NAPA Auto Parts store. Your servicing NAPA store can tell you more about Pro Image, plus the hundreds of other reasons to become part of the NAPA AutoCare family, the largest network of independent automotive repair shops in the country. I did my first panel about 45 minutes ago, and it was on transparent pricing. And it was a very interesting topic to have here. And it was highly anticipated in 2020. But here we are in 2022. And because of the pandemic, a lot has changed with our shop owners and their profitability and their sales growth. It was a little softer of a discussion that we had today. But I had a hell of a panel. The room was full, so good work on the chairs, the number of chairs, because it's always good. You hate to have presenters in front of the room and have half the chairs empty. Yeah, so you picked the right number of chairs, Joelle. It was great. A particular role, Anna. What did you do to get us here?
Since I'm so new, I don't know. I didn't really have much involvement. It was just following Alberta's lead and Lauren's lead and Joelle's lead.
Because it's been maybe about a month, 2 months that Anna joined our team. She's been with NAPA for 11 years.
Yeah.
So she didn't necessarily play a big role the last few years preparing for the seminars or the trade show floor, but in her other role in the company, I mean, she's been from organizing meetings and scheduling events and things like that. So she's played a big part in putting Expo together, just not necessarily the AutoCare piece.
I see these signs called "We Are NAPA" around here. Is that kind of new?
Couple years now. So it's We Are NAPA, One NAPA. We're really trying to make sure everyone feels and recognizes like they're a part of the family.
I've seen it, but I've seen it in prevalence here. It's out there, and I think it's a great message.
Yeah, I think it's that pulling together of the stores, the AutoCare centers, all under that NAPA brand and not separating it.
There's nothing that you can't get here, buy here, learn here, network here. It's phenomenal. And I've interviewed so many people in the industry, and they're coming by, and why are you here? My God, it's an event you can't miss. But, if somebody was listening to this a year down the road, they say, okay, Expo happened, it was a year ago. Let's talk about NAPA AutoCare. Let's talk about the future of NAPA AutoCare. Because you guys are such a key component working as a unit, as a team. Is there anything new you can tell us about what's going on with NAPA AutoCare?
Oh my gosh. I mean, every day, every week, there's something new. And if anybody has attended the National Marketing Seminar and Jason, he covered that piece of kind of our timeline. you look over the last 37 years and, we started as kind of more of a loyalty play and, really building out that partnership between NAPA stores and NAPA AutoCare centers, and has it evolved in the internet and the truck service centers and the collision, our peace of mind warranty. That was kind of the program for years, 10, 15, 20 years. But what I'd say is over the last 5-6 years, we have made over 25 major program changes. So there's over 80 AutoCare programs that our members could take advantage of, and we have rolled out over 25 in the last 5 years because our industry is moving super quick, right? I mean, Carm, you've been in it longer than me, but it's moving quicker than we've ever seen, and it's just as important that we owe it to our members to make sure our AutoCare program's evolving to stay ahead of the times.
Oh, I just heard something exciting today about the Tesla parts that you're debuting here. I mean, that's really some cutting-edge emerging tech stuff that you guys are doing, and I can't remember who told me that, but that's really exciting.
NAPA has 250 parts already in stores to be able to take care of Teslas.
Yeah.
That's something that a lot of people don't realize. We're already there. We're already there, and we're already getting ready for those electronic vehicles.
Yeah, amazing. EVs, they talked about this at this morning's opening keynote. What percentage of our car park is EVs, and it'll continue to grow. We as an industry can't ignore it. It's great to know that NAPA's paying big attention to it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it helps, too, that we've got companies over in Europe. In Europe, EVs are way, way better adopted there. So to have that connection, it puts us ahead of the curve.
And that was the key point this morning about the globalism of NAPA, that you're just about everywhere, and you could put your fingers and get some of the latest stuff that's being, made and manufactured in Europe.
Yep. Leverage our partnerships overseas.
Why would a shop owner want to join NAPA AutoCare?
I'll give an answer just being newer to the team and new to AutoCare. I've been with Genuine Parts Company for almost 8 years, but I was in a whole different department, and I was a consumer. And to me, if I'm driving down the road and I see Bob's Automotive and it's a shop, or I see across the way NAPA Auto Care Center and I can't decide where to go, whether I was a Genuine Parts Company or NAPA employee, I would gravitate towards that NAPA brand because I think so many of us grew up with it. We had parents or family, or it was always just, we saw it somewhere, and so we're familiar. And so to me, joining the team, there's something about that brand and that that you can trust, and especially being a woman, to know that I'm going to go into a shop and what my experience will be. I would rather go to NAPA.
Well said. I don't think we need to say anything more. I mean, that brand's been around for, I'm guessing, 100 years.
3 years. We'll have 100. It'll be 100 years.
100 years. Okay, so I was pretty right.
Yep.
Now it shows my age, doesn't it? Damn it. Tracy's with me, right-hand person, couldn't do what we're doing and producing 8 podcasts a week to advance the aftermarket. Thanks for being here.
No problem. I'm so excited for this panel of all women. One of the things that we face as women is we're in a male-dominated industry. And being women in NAPA AutoCare, women in the industry, Joelle and I attended the Women AutoCare conference. How is your perspective with being a woman in this industry?
I'll take this one first. And Lauren and I actually just came from Sarah Thomas's first NFL female official seminar, and she is a rock star. And one of the things that she kind of closed with is her message isn't just for females, it's for men too. So for me, and my perspective is, it doesn't matter, because we're all people, and if you're working hard and you're doing the right things, and you may need a little bit of thicker skin, but I think that our whole team does a really good job working with our customers, working with our internal teams, and we have a lot of fun with it. So from my perspective, in the 8 years of being with NAPA and in this industry, I've had nothing but fun.
I would add, so I have a couple points. I came previously from HR with the company, and we would go to a conference, and it's primarily women, and trying to go to the bathroom was a nightmare. So I am happy to be at a place where I can get into the bathroom.
I see. The reason that I want to work in an all-males, because I don't have to wait in the line.
That's a valid point.
Yeah. Here's what I would say, though, because I did join AutoCare in the last year. I don't know a lot about parts. I'm learning about AutoCare in general, learning about everything that's part of the program. But at the end of the day, it comes down to our relationships and the people that we're connected to, that we support and that we get to know them and that we have them as a resource. So it's not that we have to be the experts, but we rub elbows, we connect, we take care of, we support the right people that that then can be those experts that are out there and know what's going on, that, you know, we can meet with and learn from.
Alberta, you bring up such a great point. You're only a year in the industry, right? And a year here with NAPA AutoCare, right?
Yep, a little bit over a year.
And so you've got this great perspective. Have you visited AutoCare shops?
I have. So when I joined the team March of 2021, I went out with Joelle, and it was surprising to me because I had been with NAPA and I had never walked into a NAPA Auto Care center, and I went and visited a shop and I said, well, okay, this is what we're doing. This is pretty cool. Since then, and it is part of the job and something that's asked of us, is make sure that you're stopping in at the shops, whether you're, like on the road and you're visiting or you're in town.
So your observation, these hardworking, independent business people,
yes.
What did you see?
To me, is a feeling of that they were working well together, whether it was family or there was a close-knit feeling that you felt, whether it was that person working at the front or the mechanics in the back. There was just this welcome, warm feeling that you walk in, and it was that feeling that I think we get with the team. We're all working together. We all have different roles, but we're supporting each other. Walked in, and the environment was clean, and it was somewhere that I'd want to sit and wait for my car. The bathrooms were great, and a lot of the times you may not find that when you need to go sit somewhere. You know, you walk in and you need to plug your phone in, or you need to use a clean bathroom or have a break for 2 hours there.
This is important messaging. I hope you're listening, okay?
Yes.
Because think about it, Alberta's a one-year outsider, and she said stuff from a consumer's perspective, not from a NAPA AutoCare perspective. It was right off the cuff for her. And Tracy and I have been doing a lot on the podcast on our weekly shop tours, and we've done shows on bathrooms.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And, people write to us and says, what are you wasting my time on bathrooms for? I says, you're missing. Well, then, okay. It's like you fired a customer. I fired a listener, right? and he says, you got to make it right. Not only for, can you imagine if the bathroom for the customer looks as well and you duplicate that commitment to your peoples?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same when you go to a restaurant. You go to the bathroom and you look at that bathroom and you think, how is it very clean or is it very dirty? Because someone is running this place and this is where all the customers are going. So what's happening in the back where the customers can't see it?
We were on vacation, Tracy, Matt, and we were, I can't remember, it's got to be 15 years ago. We had to do one of those food potty breaks. And I had to go first, so I went first, and I couldn't wait to finish quickly so I could come out and pull them from the booth and say, we're not eating here. And it's so true. We do the shop tour every week, and when you see these beautiful weight rooms, the lobbies, and there's not a lot of waiters today, it's really part of brand imaging, brand building. And so the show that we recently did we title it the Ritz-Carlton? Is your bathroom?
Yep, that was with Rachel Spencer and Dale Warmoth. And it was a great episode. They talked about their bathrooms and how you can easily kind of give your bathroom an upgrade by painting, by putting up maybe some artwork. The biggest difference with a bathroom that women love, I'll tell you this, is purse hooks. You gotta have those purse hooks. Alberta, when you were speaking about, the shop being clean as well, think about when you go to a restaurant. If you walk back into, the cooking area and it was a mess, would you want to eat there? Definitely not. Yeah. So what does your shop look like? Is it clean? Are things organized? Is it a clean environment for a customer's car to be there?
And I would say that I remember that shop that we went to. I think we were in the Maryland area, and it was like a restaurant where you can see the chefs cooking because there was the glass and you could see the technicians. And I, with fresh eyes, was looking at the toolboxes. I was looking at the technicians and how they were also getting along. And it was just an interesting thing to see because you can pick up a lot from body language. Are those employees happy? Are they throwing tools around? Are they smiling at each other? How is it going here? I thought it was great. It was my first auto care center, and I'm glad it was a good one because we set it up.
So, Anna, have you ever gone to a shop?
I have, but only as a consumer. So
good. We'd love to hear about it. What do you expect?
The shop that I've been going to that I take my car to is a gold certified shop. And so now I can kind of use that as a perspective when I'm going through these shops that want to become pro-imaged and gold, and I can explain to them what we're looking for and how we want these shops to be the best of the best, So when you're walking in, like you said, it's clean, it's, nice, you feel safe, you feel comfortable, and it's somewhere where you can, send your mom, you can, send your daughter and not have to worry that, oh my gosh, are they uncomfortable or are they getting, the the best, right service.
You're describing automotive service? Mm-hmm. Wow.
So Anna's primary responsibilities are Pro Image, which is the co-branding, and then Gold Certified, which is our top tier membership. And as we've been working with her and training her and looking at these different shops, it's the one that she goes to has kind of set that standard of what was your experience like and what did that look like. So it's good that she also had a great experience with her local shop.
Lauren, your perspective.
So I have a little bit of a different perspective, having been fortunate enough to go to so many shops. And what I always think is really cool when you go in and you're talking to the shop owner, the service advisor, the technicians, you're seeing who you're doing this for, why I come into the office, and Joelle and Anna and Alberta, why we come into the office every single day. And it's really pretty motivating. You see how much we can really help them or have helped them grow their business. It's really empowering.
It's got to be a great feeling. I mean, you're working hard, you're getting a paycheck every day, and you can actually see the fruits of your labor.
I'll add that it's also important for us to go there because when we are getting the calls from the sales reps who we directly work with, who support the AutoCare centers, they're calling us. They're in that busy shop and they need help then because they're face-to-face with that AutoCare member who might have that break that they are actually able to get something. So they're calling us. So it's good for us to know this is, you pick up your phone when they're calling because they're busy and they have a minute and they're calling you because they actually need something.
You get out a lot, Joelle. I mean, you travel a lot for AutoCare. When you're out there, what are you hearing from the shop owners? What do they need? What do they want?
I think that's what the cool thing about our program is. As I mentioned, 80 different programs, and there's over 17,000 NAPA AutoCare centers, and you could go to all 17,000 and you're going to have a different conversation at every single one, what they want, what they need, what they think they want, what they think they need. And one of the coolest things for me, and I mean, I've learned the most of what I've known since I started with NAPA. Well, it started with my grandpa and my dad.
Oh, I met Joelle's dad.
Yep.
And years ago, I had met him. And he gave me a great compliment, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I know. Nice clothes, suit, ties.
It was his first remembering me. You dressed really nice.
And I said, wait, Carm? Are we talking about the same Carm?
I'm casual now. Casual Carm, right? But your grandpa's place is owned now by a great friend of ours.
Okay.
That Tracy, we filmed Tracy doing her first oil change by herself.
It was a lucky shop. Shop. That's where I did it. So
So we were kind of talking about the legacy of the Pollack family. So
I learned a lot starting there, and I never really got super involved. I mean, in the business, I would maybe just play on the lifts or sweep the floors or organize the oils, and that's my Virgo OCD too, making sure they're all straight on the.
Are you guys all suffering? Do you all suffer from that?
You guys should see Joelle lining up snacks. It's incredible.
Oh yeah,
really.
So I'm an Aquarius and a creative person, so my desk is a mess. So every time Joelle comes over, I'm like, don't look at it.
I'm a Gemini and a high I.
Anna, what are you?
I'm a Taurus, but I'm very organized.
I'm a Pisces, so we just have the whole gamut here.
Anyway,
sounds like a fun time.
How did we get to to astrology, bathrooms,
organizing oil? So I think it's important as I'm out making calls. And this is hard for me to stay on the right track, and I'm trying here, is to not only help our members as far as their needs by working through our vendor partner programs and educating them, but also listening to them so that we can learn. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones running their businesses, and we're not business owners. That's why we have an advisory council. Our team is field-facing, and we're constantly talking with customers, store owners. I used to work with store owners in Syracuse. I learned not everything, but a lot of what I know now is from these AutoCare center owners, these NAPA store owners, and it's taking what I'm learning on each call and using that to kind of pivot and guide each conversation with each owner.
To your point about the council, I was honored, I can't remember how long ago, to be in one of those meetings. And you listen to that group, you listen. They're going to tell you if this greatest new program is working, and if it's not, how to tweak it, how to fix it. One of the things that I've learned in being associated with NAPA as a great sponsor of the podcast is that you really care deeply about the success of the service professional. Yeah, you really do.
So, Carm, I'll add, you joined us, you both joined us in March. We had our first vendor summit ever, where we invited all of our AutoCare vendors to our headquarters in Atlanta, and we ran them through what AutoCare is. We ran them where we came from, where we're going. You moderated that panel with our council, and the good, the bad, the ugly was kind of the theme of that conference, and we plan to do that every year so that we can learn and we can share that with the vendors so that they also understand where everyone's coming from and how they can support the AutoCare centers.
So I'm confused. Am I a vendor or a presenter?
You're calm.
So that yellow tag gets me places? Okay. just was checking. What's next? Expo's off, you're home, you take a couple of days off, you refine your voice, Joelle.
Yeah, that might take a couple weeks.
Yeah, and so what's next?
Back to work.
Back to the
work.
grind?
Back to the grind.
Huh?
Yeah, back on airplanes, back on communicating, back on doing what we can, working with our vendor partners on new program launches, enhancing our existing programs.
Think about the profitability of your customer. If they're not your customer. Yep. They can't be. They can't pay their bills, right? And it seems like so much of the focus that you guys have is on not only growing their business with all the great marketing tools, but it's working with all your coaches, lots of trainers and coaches that I know personally that are here training, and of course David Justice and Repair Shop of Tomorrow. And you've made such a commitment to leadership and profitability here in the seminars.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is, not everybody needs marketing and needs more cars. They have more cars than they know how to handle, but maybe they need that leadership on how to be profitable with those 300 cars in your lot, right? So that's what Repair Shop of Tomorrow and our other vendor partners here do for them.
And they're also well represented.
I was just talking to an AutoCare center who's here at Expo yesterday about digital vehicle inspections, and his first thing was, I don't need more business. I'm booked out 2 weeks. And I said, I get that, but what about the things to make your technicians more efficient? To make so that the service advisor and the technicians can communicate, the protection on dents and everything. And he said, yeah, that would have saved me $500 about 3 weeks ago had I had that, so I could take a picture. So
bingo, stop being a naysayer, embrace technology.
Even though it's tough.
Yeah, for a guy like me. Yeah. Training. I actually said that in the panel this morning. That people say, hey, what's the trend? What are you talking to people about? What are they telling you? And I've never walked away from interviews where I wrote the word training down 3 times. And I wrote it down from this perspective. We need to stop saying, yes, I got to do it. We need to stop preaching that you have to do it. And there needs to be a doing or a commitment. And it goes deeper than just saying you have to train. You have to train your shop manager, you have to train your service advisors, you have to train yourself as the leader of the business, you have to train your bookkeeper, you have to train your technicians. And your commitment to training, you need to siphon off whatever percent that you think you could afford and then keep it growing each and every year. But it's not $500, it's not $1,000, it's probably like $10,000 to $15,000 in a medium-sized shop for training. It needs to be daytime, it needs to be paid for, and technicians of the future, the rock stars you want to hire, they want to work for a shop that has a huge commitment to training. And I'm saying this because I know NAPA training is big and huge for you guys, and you're so committed to it. People come up to you and say, I love the NAPA training and the NAPA trainers. That's an important message of late, that we have to train. There is no getting out of jail card for that. So what role, you guys have any role in helping? I mean, I know you're training programs, but you're pulling together all these vendors. You're basically the funnel. You're the downspout of the funnel that says all of these great commitments that we have to make to a profitable and successful NAPA AutoCare flows through you guys. And you're the messaging arm of the whole AutoCare program. Am I right?
I mean, you're spot on. And you mentioned every type of training that a shop would need, and that's where, our auto, if it's technical training, we have our auto tech trainers that are out there, and whether it's a 3-hour nighttime class or it's a 2-day service advisor class throughout the day, or it's hands-on, or our auto tech training department's constantly working on looking at the content, looking at how we can grow, looking at EVs, looking at hybrids. Where are we today, and where do we need to continue to look forward to? And then, again, going back to every other type of training that you need is where our 30 different vendor partners come in.
It was great to be at that meeting and to moderate that panel. We got a lot of feedback. And I love to do that. I love to show people that sell to our industry. In fact, I did it at the a Yang conference in Orlando. I went down and they had me do the same thing that you guys had me do for shop owners to all these young under 40 people that sell to the industry and want to call a shop an installer. And, so I always love to start out those mixed meetings and say, if anyone gets up and asks a question about these people as installers, I will have you escorted from the room. I always say that. Yeah. It's because they're service professionals. They're business. They're not installers. I know installers that put in carpet.
Yep.
And so the thing that I hate is that universal word called an installer. We're a sophisticated business today. Hence, your entire NAPA AutoCare team and the ladies of NAPA AutoCare. How cool it is that I can have you here. But thank you so much for the commitment and everything that you do for these 17,000. And I don't know if they are listening now and realize that there's a cool core of women that help drive that bus.
Again, our whole team, and going back, and I personally don't like to make a huge deal of men, female, this, that, whatever the case may be. But the reason why the four of us are here is because of our boss too, and having somebody that's supportive, and it's supportive in a way that's not, oh, you're doing this because you're females, or it's a non-event, and he wants us to shine. He wants our whole team to shine, and having the support of NAPA and our internal team and our boss. And I mean, it's important to have a good support group and team around you.
Yeah, Jason calls me. He says, "Hey, you got to do the ladies. You got to bring the ladies into your studio." And I said, "What a great idea!" Because I love hanging around women. I mean, that's high on my list.
Yep.
And
Carm,
really I'll just piggyback off what Joelle said. I had been in a completely different industry, HR, and I felt a little out of place when I looked at the company and thought, if I did want to grow, where do I even go? What do I know? What can I do? We're parts, right? And I luckily had a connection with Jason and got to talking when there was an opportunity. And I'd say he believed in me more than I believed in myself. And because of that, I was able to come into the team and be excited about this change, and then feel like I'm actually thriving and I'm learning and I'm supported. Again, like Joelle, I don't like to think about the male-female thing, but it is. And, for sure, I didn't grow up with parts. I'm learning different things as I go, but it's...
Yeah, there's no male-female thing, but I think it's a unique opportunity to get you three here, get your perspectives and, and what you're doing to continue to drive the NAPA AutoCare brand and hear from you guys. I mean, I interview mostly men. And, but I love to bring in their wives and, the female technician of the year, Meg. We're going to interview her later, the first female technician of the year. Yep. Meg, I just can't wait to do that. So, it's always an honor to drive the woman's perspective on the podcast.
And I would say, as our industry is moving forward too, and I was in a shop in Houston, NAPA Auto Care Center, about a month and a half ago, and he was showing me his YouTube video. There was a video on YouTube because him and his wife would go to an elementary school. They do that every year, and they usually get about 10-15 minutes to kind of talk about whatever business they're in and get the kids excited, and they took it to the next level, and they had, I don't know if they were Legos or whatnot, but it made it hands-on, and then they pulled up vehicles. And it was funny because he said you can see in this YouTube clip, it was all the girls that were their heads under the hood and hands-on, and that's not the first time I've heard that. And it's really important to get in front of them in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. Yeah. So, I mean, it was cool just to kind of hear that for a second, third time.
Listen, I'm a big proponent of that. We've done a lot in the last month on the educational process. And, Tracy and I went out to my son's school, who's a counselor, and is in the Big Picture program. And we did a whole show on these young men and women that none of them wanted to be automotive. But I wanted to tell the story of the opportunity for us to go in, shake hands with a counselor or a principal, and hang out with the teachers and our young people. You're never going to have customers in 20 years if we don't recruit now.
Exactly.
Carm, I'll just say from my previous career in HR, we used to look at hiring for attitude and hiring for aptitude. And I think we still try to push that on through our apprentice program. You may not find that perfect apprentice or person who wants to start a career, but do they have a good attitude and can they learn?
Yeah.
And that's where you start.
It's a fitting end to this episode. You're right. There isn't anybody that I've ever brought on that's a coach trying to help shop owners with the entire shortage that we have. in rockstar employees
and I
that
think,
doesn't talk that.
And I think too is a lot of times, whether it's a teenager, a young adult, and it doesn't matter the age, but if someone's looking to try a new career path or start their career, there's a lot of, when you hear automotive, I mean, you might think, okay, you have to be a technician or you have to work behind the parts counter, but there's so many opportunities, and I feel a lot of times when people hear the automotive industry, they don't realize. I mean, we have drive from everything you talked about in the training aspect. There are multiple roles that fall under each category, so there's tons of opportunity within this industry. It's
you're right. How could a technician? One of my great friends is director of training for a major manufacturer. And he says, look at me.
Yep.
You know, I used to be a mechanic, he says, and now he's a vice president of a company. So the career pathing in our industry, the opportunity is big. And you're right, we need to recruit from every particular angle. Hey, this was fun. I think the Googles are warming up the bass guitar behind us. Yeah?
And last comment, the best thing about our industry, the people.
Yeah.
The people that you work with every day, that we work with every day, makes it fun.
Yeah, we are a people industry, you know. I often use the word love. I actually used it in my seminar this morning. And I said, Carm says, stop getting mushy on me. And I says, the word love really means it's a verb. Make it a verb and we care for each other. And I think that's one of the big things in our industry that we do, especially a company as big as NAPA. You guys wouldn't be as big as you are, as global as you are, if you didn't care for your customers. And you know what? We're all human. We make mistakes every day. We strive hard. We work hard. And I think those are all great lessons to take to work every day.
Yep.
Wow, this was great. Joelle Pollock, Director, AutoCare Sales and Marketing. Thank you.
Yep.
Hope your voice comes back.
I know. Thanks.
Wow. She's from Buffalo. The Goo Goo Dolls from Buffalo. Did you have anything to do with that?
Surprisingly, I did not.
Okay. But you're taking all the credit, aren't you?
Yeah, I wish I could say yes.
Yeah.
She would have had Josh Allen if she
I was going to say
part of it.
Alberta, Santistevan.
Santistevan, you did it.
I did it right.
Great job.
Manager, program communication. I was practicing while I was listening to you guys. Lauren Briggs, Sales and Marketing Manager. Thanks so much for your contributions. And Anna Price, Program Brand Specialist. Thank you, the ladies of NAPA AutoCare.
Thanks. Tracy and I are going to go grab some coffee now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, coffee.
All right.
Hot tea with honey, Joelle.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.